Well, hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger here, and today's November 1st. It's the day after Halloween. I was blessed. My wife bought this for me, a whole bag of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I had two of those yesterday, which I haven't had two, two actual Reese's Peanut Cups. I haven't had two peanut butter cups uh, in years. I try to make them last. I just don't want to gobble them all up. So yesterday was Halloween. I really had a fun day. Two great live streams. Rob Feder is my favorite guitar player, and his album is coming out, I think, Wednesday, he said. It's his new album. I think it's called Ship Shake. And he said it's upbeat, that it's a rocker, is what he said. So super excited. That's Rob Feder's fourth solo album. Definitely going to be grabbing that as soon as possible. And I wanted to talk about the Mr. Bungle live stream that came out on 2 p.m. yesterday, and it's going to be up for 72 more additional hours. So if you can spare the $15, I mean, if you're a Bungle fan and you didn't get this already, you you missed out. It's really worth seeing. It's a 3-camera pro shot concert of them on a soundstage that's decorated to look like it's the Eureka Public Library. That's the town that they're from. Eureka is in Humboldt County. So that's where all the pot grows. These guys weren't druggies. They were musicians. Mr. Bungle is you either have to be a end of the line music fanatic or a guitar player. That's that's the people that are into Mr. Bungle. It's complicated music. It's not for everyone, but it's some of the best stuff that's on a major label, I think. Just some of the most interesting music you'll ever run into. Anyway, Scott Ian and Dave Lombardo, two guys, one from Anthrax, one from Slayer, in this band now. Lombardo is so unbelievably talented as a drummer. He's the guy. He's Slayer's drummer, and he invented a lot of the techniques for playing that intense drumming style. So this band is thrash metal, hardcore styling, and they didn't play like a lot of weird covers like they used to. And I'll talk more about that later, but they do some hardcore covers. They do some stuff that fits in with this, what they're doing now. So people not getting that, people like bummed out that they didn't play Travolta. I don't know. Is it really that this band just attracts the lowest common denominator, most ignorant, dumb people? Like the Bungle fans are they really the worst? Are they really that dumb? To be like, I wonder if they're gonna play Pink Cigarette. Like, this is thrash metal. They're not all of a sudden gonna, there isn't a single synthesizer on the stage. You know what I mean? So if the song is all keyboard and orchestral arrangement, they're not going to be able to play it with a couple of Marshall stacks and a couple of guitars. It's just kind of common sense. Now, Scott Ian made a comment that he practiced this stuff for 4 months to be able to play it, and he ended up having to go to a rheumatologist because he had this incredible pain in his hand. And I guess that's just some of the fastest, most incredible stuff that he's ever played. So, yeah, you should check it out. They're super tight. It's super heavy. It's really good. There's plenty of cameos and comedic set. A whole thing with the band, and then there's a Neil Hamburger set, which initially in the chat, like, there was, people were kind of communicating and it like made sense. And then it just turned into a thing where people were just typing like Viva Chile over and over and just like bam, 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 having that go up, and pictures of dicks and just like that ASCI art, and just like spamming it, spamming it, spamming it, and then people complaining, people wondering, are they going to play Travolta tonight? Are they going to play Pink Cigarette tonight? And I mean, like, are you serious? That was one of Neil Hamburger's jokes. Knock, knock, who's there? Will Mr. Bungle be playing Travolta tonight? Chances are slim. And there was... I ditched the chat. As soon as the band came on, I was done with it. But there was a lot of people that didn't get Neil Hamburger. And that's a huge part of the dynamic when that guy performs live, is people in the audience going, come on, and booing him. And there's another part of it, which is people who know his material yelling out the punchline to his jokes. And he'll set that up. After he's been out there for 35 minutes, he'll keep retelling the joke until someone yells it out. And I've heard it before where it's a plant. It's a guy in the audience. So, and that's brilliant. Like Neil Hamburger's comedy, it's not Seinfeld or Friends humor. This isn't a Garfield comic strip. This is kind of more of an evolved, advanced taste of humor. It's even beyond like Monty Python. There's stuff that he does where it'll be an album where the whole performance, the crowd is they hate him. They're just not having it. And then there's a guy who is obnoxious and loud, and the performer gets pissed and starts calling him zipper lip. You need to zip your lip. And he by focusing on this guy, he wins the audience over, and they all attack the zipper lip guy. And it's brilliant. And it's a thing that he used to use. He would, anytime anyone would get out of control, he would call him a zipper lip, and then everyone got it. At least, you know, that's the thrill of a Neil Hamburger show, is if you're in on the joke. And as a fan of this band, like, I would think by this point, the people that paid $15 would know who Neil Hamburger is. I mean, are these people just, are they trolling? Are they just trying to be funny and provide the counterpoint? Or do they really not know that Patton was on his album, that they're friends, that Patton hired him? He did an opening set at the Fonda Theater, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I could not believe how great it was. And then I went to show it to my wife, and I was going to download it and have it for my collection, and it was gone. And I begged the guy, I was like, can you please upload that set? I don't know what the deal was, but it was only up for one night, and then it was gone. And it was fantastic. And I gotta say, the night they came home, this $15 pay-per-view, that was the only aspect of it that didn't work as well as it could have. Because part of the necessary ingredient in a Neil Hamburger experience, if it's a live thing, is having those people who don't get the joke there, who are flipping out and yelling at him and going, come on, and just not getting it and booing him. A lot of that was going on in the comments, and I just couldn't believe it. These are the Patton fans? You don't know who, you don't, like, I found out who Neil Hamburger was specifically because of Mike Patton and Mr. Bungle, and I went and I found a bunch of his albums and listened to all of it, and became a huge fan of Greg Turkington. The Three Doctor Band, Zip Code Rapists, Bon Larvis, the Boogie Woogie Band, the Prezas. No, I'm a fan of that guy. Up until even his work with Tim Heidecker was genius. But obviously not everyone else. So, hey, did you hear Herman Lee from Dragon Force got kicked off of Twitch. Now, Twitch is this, it's kind of like YouTube, you stream it. And he had 140,000 fans, and it's a pay-per-view, it's subscription. So this is like his second job. He's making a ton of money off of it. And he got kicked off of it. He got banned. And I think that he got banned because of DCMA. And his DCMA was playing covers of his own music. So here's a guy, he writes this music and he signs these record deals, and then later on he has a channel and they come and ban him. And that's like a huge, like he's making bank money off of the service, and then they ban him because he has copyright violations. But he's like, fuck that. I wrote the song. I'm going to fuck that copyright bullshit. I'm going to continue doing what I did because I wrote the piece of music. So this is not good. This is not good. This DCMA thing is out of fucking hand. It really is. There's one thing about stealing something, and there's another thing about using it. You know, if I'm just some YouTuber and I use somebody's piece of music in my video, they're getting exposure by that. Okay? Nobody's going to be able to download it and keep it off of my video. You know what I mean? They're going to get to hear it. And that's good. That's healthy. That's free advertising. And that's what DCMA doesn't comprehend that. And in this case, it's cuckoo for coconuts. It's completely fucking bananas. Banning Herman Lee from Twitch. So, you know, you can mock the guy all you want, but he's talented. He really is. You know, I'd give both my nuts to be able to play guitar that good. I don't know if I was at that level, if I would be playing that. You know, it's kind of annoying music, I think. But that being said, when you've got two fingers and you play as slow as I do, anything else is appealing. So yeah, do you guys want to take a look at some pictures? I've got some photos of the. Let me see, how would I do this? These are pictures from the Mr. Bungle concert. So we will. Here is Mike Patton enjoying some cappuccino. He's got his Coolio dreadlocks. And I love the fact that Trey Spruance just has his pedals on the ground, that he doesn't have a pedal board. And look at all of them. Dang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sheesh. Oops. Went the wrong way. Oh boy, is this turning into a... Okay, here we go. And as you can see here, they're using some type of a lens flare filter, which is kind of an homage to John Carpenter, who this guy, Trey Spruance, is a huge fan of all of that. And I remarked to my wife, I said, you know, he kind of looks like Jesus to me. And my wife said, not my Jesus. This light here at times was like a rainbow hue, and it would catch his hair. It looked really cool. Dave Lombardo in the background. Man, that guy is a talented drummer. I'll tell you what. Patton doing his thing, marching around in circles in here, and then he would sit down on this from time to time. See Scott Ian looking exactly the same as he has for the last 30 years. The Patton stance with the Coolio dreads, and then Trevor Dunn with his pink mohawk. Patton's got his golden microphone. and the Eureka Library set. So it was a pro shot concert event. I don't know if this will because it was pay-per-view. Are they just going to throw it up on YouTube? Maybe they will. I hope they do. I went and spent some time trying to capture it, and I've got an HD copy. I've got one file that's 1.5 gig, and I got another file that's 6 gig or 5.5. And I'm not going to upload that. I'm not sharing it. I gave it to one dear friend who deserves it because he's a legitimate fan who was unable to get the streaming event. And like I said, I wasn't able to do the 6 gig. As far as putting that in a Dropbox, he got the 1.5 gig version, which looked good. It really did. It didn't look terrible. So I've got those to cherish for myself here, although there's a couple of points where it stops and buffers. None of that happened during the music performance. But I had a couple of buffers during the interviews. So what can you do? All right, you guys, check out that Mr. Bungle, The Night They Came Home. You got a couple of days still if you want to see it. It's $15. You can go to ipecac.com. That's the record label. And you can PayPal them $15 and get a ticket and enjoy this. So I really encourage you to do that. If you're a fan of thrash or metal music, this is some of the best. And if you haven't picked up the album yet, the album is out. It is called Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny Demo 2020 version. There was a version from 1986, but we're not going to talk about that. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Stay safe and be careful. With this election going on, we got to be smart and just consider, is it worth it? Peace.